the Powkiddy RGB30 with a 4-inch square screen, 1:1 ratio. I guess you could call this gaming squared. Let's check it out, shall we? Hey guys, welcome to Handheld Retro Handhelds. Thanks for joining me today. So today we're going to be having a look at the Powkiddy RGB30. This is the one I've got here. I decided to go for the white one. I haven't got too many white handhelds at the moment, so I thought I'd make a nice new addition to the collection. So what have we actually got here? We've got a 4-inch square HD IPS screen, and that's running at 720 by 720 resolution with a 1:1 ratio, which gives it this lovely little square kind of look here. That's great for kind of Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance, those kind of style games. Fits the screen really nice and well. It runs on a Linux operating system. Currently this is on the GelOS operating system, which I really like. I like it because it has the background music that you can have playing. So I've filled mine up with a number of different Sonic related theme tunes, Streets of Rage theme tunes. This comes with a CPU of a Rockchip RK3566 ARM quad core processor, and that's running at 1.8 GHz. The GPU on this little lady is a Mali G52 2EE. She comes with 1 GB of LPDDR4 RAM. Connectivity wise, she comes with 5G Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in. Output wise, we've got a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is just at the bottom here. We've also got dual stereo speakers. Also we've got HDMI out at the top just here, and we've also got a USB-C and also a OTG-USB, which are just on the bottom here. Comes with 2 SD cards, micro SD cards, with a capacity of up to 512 GB on each card, so giving you a nice terabyte storage. Power wise, she's got a 4100 milliamp rechargeable battery, which gives you a nice 7 to 8 hours gameplay through USB-C charging as well. Colours that are available for this are the white one that we have displayed here. Also comes in red, yellow, black, purple, green and blue. So it's got a lovely little selection of colours available. Price on this is from around £100 upwards. Generally about £100 is what you're going to be paying. I'm a little bit late to the game on this particular handheld, I will admit. Only recently just got this little lady. Been playing around with her, getting her set up. The usual games, getting the ROMs loaded up, BIOSes put on, etc, etc, playing about with the emulation station based operating system here. So let's have a little look through her, shall we, and see what we've got. We're going to scroll to the beginning here. So we've got favourites: Atari 2600, Atari 5200 and Atari 7800. They're all the 8-bit Atari systems. Then we've got the Atari Lynx, which was a 16-bit handheld. We've got the Capcom Play Systems, so we've got Capcom Play System 1, 2 and 3. Also got Pico 8. As I've mentioned in a recent video, not too keen on Pico 8 myself. Moving forward, we've got PC Engine, which was 16-bit. Nintendo Entertainment System, 8-bit. The original DMG Game Boy, the old 8-bit, well, the first handheld really, that was just incredible back in the day. It blew me away. I'm sure any of you guys that are my sort of age will agree that back in the day when the Game Boy came out, it really was quite an incredible device. And we've got the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. This was the 16-bit, really competition for the Sega Mega Drive, which was also 16-bit back in the day. We've got the Nintendo 64-bit console. That was incredible when that came out as well. Revolutionary. Hadn't been anything like it before then. We've got the Game Boy Color, which is again 8-bit, but the coloured version of the original Game Boy. Game Boy Advance. We've got Nintendo DS. Atomic Wave, which is kind of like an arcade-based system. Sega Master System, the original 8-bit console. Again, this was a rival really for the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES, back in the day. I've got the Game Gear, which was the first kind of coloured handheld really. I think that beat the Game Boy Color. So yeah, the Game Gear there, and that was pretty incredible back in the day as well. Then we've got my absolute favourite, as a lot of you guys know, the Sega Mega Drive. Best console ever, in my opinion. But maybe because that's what I had when I was younger. We've got the Sega CD, Sega Saturn, Sega 32X, the Dreamcast, Neo Geo, PlayStation, PSP, Scum VM. They're kind of like standalone, like RPG kind of games. Point and click, really, like Secret of Monkey Island. That was my favourite back in the day. I really want to have a little good run through on that again, really. Open Beats of Rage. These are kind of like games that are rehashed of original games or complete remakes. Again, really fun. I've got an upcoming video I'm going to be doing with the Open Beats of Rage Streets of Rage 2 version, which is basically a revamped version of Streets of Rage 2, but with super cool graphics, super cool music as it was in the original. Then we've got a music player built in here, the tools system, and we're back to favourites again. So let's go through this little lady, shall we, and see what we've got here. I'm going to go in via the favourite system, and as you can see here, guys, I'm going to just zoom you in a little bit. We've got a number of my little favourites set up here, because as I've said before, what I like to do really is you can put all your ROM sets on and end up with thousands and thousands of games. And if, say, you go into, say, the Game Boy system, you can spend forever just scrolling through games, and I like to call it scroll syndrome. So what I like to do personally is I'll put all my ROMs on the system, because why not? I normally put a 500GB SD card in. So normally, you know, you can fit all your 8-bit and 16-bit systems onto that, along with the majority of the PlayStation 1 systems as well. So what I like to do really is get all my ROMs put on, and then I'll go through, I'll put all my actual favourites on, of what I used to play back in the day, like the good old Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, as I've mentioned many times, the different Mario games. But I also like to go through and look through the different systems, like for example here, Mario Kart Super Circuit on the Game Boy Advance. Never played that before, so I'll stick that on my favourites to play with. Mario Golf, I love the Mario Golf games, both the original, the very original Game Boy one, the MG one, which was quite awkward to play because you couldn't really see the distance of your clubs and things. Then with the Game Boy Color, you've got the Mario Golf on there, and that was an incredible game. Love that game still. Want to do a little playthrough on that. Then the Golf came out on the N64, Mario Golf 64. Incredible game. So I've put this on favourites, my Game Boy Advance, Mario Golf on here, Advanced Tour. I want to give that a little go through, see what that's like. So yeah, I'll basically favouritize a number of games that I want to play. I want to give a little playthrough. I've mentioned it before, I really want to play the Zelda games, things like that. Monopoly, I always put Monopoly on here. Generally the Mega Drive version I use is just a nice easy game. If you're busy doing little things and you just want to play a game in the background, you're literally just pressing the button every so often. It's not too in depth, you know, it's not too involved. It's something you can just play as you're doing other things. Sega Rally on the Saturn, love to play a bit of that. Sonic Advance, I want to give this a bit of a run through really. I haven't played any of those, never really had a Game Boy Advance back in the day, so there's quite a few games on here, Game Boy Advance ones that I'd like to have a little go through. Same with the DS. Sonic Spinball on the Mega Drive, I remember getting that game back in the day. I think I got it for my birthday, and that was such a cool game. It's like a pinball kind of game, but Sonic's the ball and he's bouncing around everywhere. It's got really cool music, as you would expect from a Sonic game. Then there's my original, the original and the best, the Sonic the Hedgehog #1, the original. Number 2, number 3, SSX Tricky. Now, I loved that game on the PS2, and I've got an Handheld RGB30V, which does actually allow you to play PS2 and GameCube, and I love having a little blast on SSX Tricky on the PS2. Such an incredible game. If you've not played that game, guys, definitely give it a good go. It's really good fun. This one I played recently on the Handheld Arc. I gave it a run through. This is kind of like a ROM hack for Streets of Rage 2. This one's called Shredder's Revenge, and it's whereby you play as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I mean, what can be cooler than that? And then we've got, what else we got here? Different Mario games, different bits like that. So guys, let's have a little look through some of these, shall we? Let's start with, let's try and scroll this down a bit quicker here, see if we can get to it. I want to go to, actually it would be here somewhere, I think. Let's start with this, shall we? Let's give this a little run through quickly on here. I'm going to start a new game. This is the, I spent many a years playing this back in the day on the old Game Boy. And it's the Super Mario Land on the Game Boy original. Let's give it a bit of volume. One thing with this system is the actual volume buttons are kind of back to front, if that makes sense. So let's press start, because you won't actually get any volume until we start. I'll turn it down a little bit. So yeah, let's give this a little burn through quickly, just show you guys how we rock and roll on Super Mario Land, and I'm going to die straight away. Good God. Let's try that again. So here we go. This old theme tune, honestly, it takes me back, it really does. That's the wrong tube. It's this one we can go down. There we go. I'm going to try and keep you guys in frame here because I'm a bit zoomed in. So, as you can see, I've changed it to the original kind of green scale of the original Game Boy here. Always do that with any of my handhelds that I get. It's generally a case of just going into the RetroArch settings and changing your visualization to Game Boy Internal. Then I like to use the color pack. I go for the number 22, which is kind of like a cosmic kind of green color. But I like it. I love having it this green color. Otherwise, normally it's just black and white when you get these little systems. So there you go. That's a little bit of Super Mario Land. Let's jump out of that. Okay, so to jump out, guys, we're just going to hold down press that twice, the start and select button. Really nice and easy, just pops you out nice and quickly. I really like that about that, actually. As you can hear, I've got some background music going here. A bit of Streets of Rage, as you can hear. Let's see what else. Let's go for our usual, shall we, on here, guys? Let's go for a bit of... Here we go. Let's go for a bit of this. Here we go. Always got to have a little burn up on this, guys, when we do the videos. I'm sure there's loads of you out there that love a bit of Sonic the Hedgehog. Let's have a look at the colours here. It's so beautiful. Real nice contrast on this system. Like I say, the square screen here, the one-to-one aspect, it's great for Game Boy and things like that, like you may have just seen. And you can actually have that stretched on that Mario Land we just played there. I didn't have that stretched. But for the systems that are 4x3 aspects, you're going to have borders top and bottom. You can adjust that. You can stretch it to screen if you like, but it is going to stretch your pixels a little bit. which is not going to be that noticeable, to be honest, I don't think. Always loved this Sonic with the checkered effect on the foreground part here, and that's so, I think that really set the game apart back in the day, because it just looks so cool compared to some of the other system games that are out. And ping through here, let's try and bounce off some of these flies. Oh no, I used to be able to do that back in the day. You can bounce off the flies and there you go. See if we can get 100, shall we? There we go. There we go. So yeah, I mean, this system's going to play the 8-bit and 16-bit games absolutely no problem at all. There we go, start button. Yeah. And as always, guys, we're going to be Mr. Yoshi Badoshi. It's always got to be Yoshi. Okay, yes please, Mario. Let's do a different. Let's do old Wario Stadium. I used to love a bit of Wario Stadium back in the day. Like I said before, I used to play this with my mates on the weekends. 3 of us would play it. And this was definitely one that caused rows. Whereby, when you jump over the jump on this, you can kind of like get people just on the jump so they fall down, and it puts them way back. And we used to always have a rule, an unwritten rule, that you can't use electric like on that jump. That was the only rule we had. You could use missiles, bananas. I used to stick bananas all up that ramp, and they used to get so stressed with me. That was the only rule that we had, wasn't it? You couldn't use electric. Other than that, it was anything goes, really. See, so on here, because I've got the Z button as L2 rather than L1, it makes it really difficult to hold it behind you like I normally. Oh god, see, now I've gone askew. Makes it quite difficult to hold it behind you. I'm sure I'm just missing something, but I can't seem to be able to adjust the controls for this, really. So that's one down point on this system, really. Is that kind of just checking where I was in the frame. Oh, stacked it. Yeah, that's one down point for this system, really, is the inability to be able to change the controls very easily, or as it seems to me. Let's give this a little run through on here. And maybe we'll fire up some Dreamcast games. Again, I did always have Segas back in the day. I had a Mega Drive, Game Gear, had Sega Saturn. I never had a Dreamcast, so I've never really played too many of those games. I was a bit early on sending that missile off there. So we'll give some Dreamcast games a go, because it's going to test the system a little bit. We'll see how well she performs. So this system, similar to the Ambernac RG35XXH, such a nice long name with numbers. The dual sticks are a great addition, don't get me wrong. I love having the analog sticks. Really opens up N64 games and PS1 and PS1 games, etc. But I think it's difficult for the developers to work out where to put the actual analog sticks to make it comfortable, because a lot of the games are just D-pad and buttons, let's be honest. So it makes sense to have, say for example on this system, the D-pads and the face buttons at the top here. So when you're holding on to the device, you're holding it nicely like this. It does make it a little bit more difficult with the analog stick. It's not too bad, because I guess you're always going to be using your thumb, and it does kind of position it just kind of where your thumb's going to be. But I don't know, sometimes I think with long gameplay it can get a bit crampy on the hands when you're playing it this way. I don't think we're going to be getting first this time. Oh, there's a purple one. Let's see if we can power slide all the way around here. There we go, lovely jubbly. So yeah, the analog sticks, they're nice, similar to the Black 35XXH. They're not too high, they're nicely embedded here. Let's jump around here a bit. We are not getting first place today. Can we get third? No. Yeah, so the analog sticks, as you can see, they really don't stick out at all, to be honest. D-pad is your normal kind of, it's a little bit stiff. It's certainly not as stiff as an R-Phase 6S, for example. So it's certainly quite usable. I'm going to just pause that. Oh, just let it play. So let's take you on a run over on this. We've got your dual speakers here. Got dual analog sticks here. You've got obviously your face buttons here, your A, B, X and Y. Select and start. Nice little D-pad, as I've just mentioned, a little bit stiff, but it's actually got nice, fairly rolled edges. They're a little bit sharp, I guess. Not quite as rolled edges as again, say, the RG35XXH, but they're alright. You've got your shoulder buttons are in line here, although the R2 and L2 are a little bit prouder, so they're not so bad. I think you're still going to have slight trouble with accidentally pressing this while you're pressing them. You've got your ports up the top here. Now I've mentioned HDMI out, your volume up and down. This is a reset button, this is power button. There's nothing really on the sides of these ones as you'd normally have on many of the other consoles. And as mentioned, you've got your SD cards here, and you've got your USB-C charging and your OTG for connection to gamepads, etc. And your headphone jack. Let's scroll to Dreamcast, shall we? Here she is. Okay, select a truck. I think we're going to go with this. This is what I normally go with. That took a while to load, guys. I think that was just where it was loading up the ROM. Right. You can hear with the audio is a little bit slow, but it's certainly playable. Right, let's see if we can do a bit better this time. Yeah. Reminds me, this kind of game reminds me of the old school films like Convoy, Smokey and the Bandit, good old classic. Good old days. They don't make films like that anymore, that's for sure. Oh yeah, get out of it. Oh, that's, I've got to try and pass you, mate, and that's part of the game. See if we can get a piece from you. There we go. I'm trying. Wow. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Apparently we're going to go and make some crazy money. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry guys, like I say, I've never ever played this game. I've had a couple of quick blasts on it and that's about as far as it goes. Oh, gee whiz. Oh good god. We're not gonna make it. Oh my god. Yeah, that was probably a bad example for me to use. So PSP, let's see how well it plays PSP, because I know that can be a bit resource hungry at times. Let's try a bit of Grand Theft Auto. I think to get this to run half decently, you're really going to have to play about the emulator settings. I don't know where we are going to. Oh my goodness. Right, is that going to let me through there? Yeah. Can you... Let's see if we can stay on the bike for longer than 5 seconds, shall we? Let's check what brake is. Let's brake. Oh. Yeah, I've never had a PSP before, so I've never played too many PSP games. Really, I'd gone on to PS2 after N64. Oh, you ran me down, man. Yes, this isn't running too badly, to be fair. We haven't got the sound up, so we can't really hear if it's stuttering about too much. Let's turn the sound back up now. We're just walking. See if we can start a fire with someone. Here we go. Don't run away, man. Oh, you bitch. Don't run away. Let's see if we can give him a running slug. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Yeah. I think we've had enough of that. You can hear it stuttering. It does stutter a bit with the sounds, but I think it would work. Come on, man! I just want to slap you. Anyway, good God. See if we can double jump out of that. No. So let's exit that, guys. It's PSP. Yeah. It runs on PSP, but sound can be a little bit stuttery. I think you'd have to maybe look at it game by game and work out what's going to work best. What else we've got here? Oh, let's do a bit of Metal Slug, shall we? Okay, so that's our grenade button. Let's jump. So that's going to be normal fire. Just check you guys are in frame here. Got the grenades that way. These little prisoners of war, when you save them, they give you little power-ups. We've got a rocket launcher here. Oh, we'll run out of grenades, that's great. Yeah, I love these games. Again, they're not normally too long to play through. You can actually play through them pretty quick. Oh, got killed there. No. I'll try and get used to what these buttons are. Let's jump on that grenade. Collect these coins as we go. Yeah, it's definitely a good fun game, guys. If you've not played any of the Metal Slugs before, definitely have a little blast up. I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's just a good little bit of run and gunning, really. Not going to play the whole game, guys. It gets a bit painful. But yeah, that played quite nicely on that. Here we go, it's loading up. Let's try that again, shall we? Sega Rally Championships. So you can hear already the it's a bit stuttery. It's stuttery on the sound. Let's go for championship. Oh, for God's sake, what is this doing, man? God, you can hear by the sound that is pretty painful. Let's give this a go. Might be able to hear in the background, guys, it's raining hard here at the moment. Typical British weather, really. God, this is not going to be a good experience, I don't think. Oh my goodness. Oh god. You're going to need frames skipping on this, I reckon. Analog's not working. DPad is very slow. Oh, this is going to be a painful experience. You can hear by the music how bad this is, really. It's it's playable if you like doing everything in slow motion, yeah, but this is not playable. No, it's not a good experience. Yeah, this ain't great, guys. Whoa! Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm not keen on that. I think you'd have to really play about with the settings on there, really. Maybe put a frame skip on. So, what is this doing? You can let me exit. Oh, there it goes. Wait fun. So there we are, guys. The Powkiddy RGB30. Would I recommend it? I'm not too sure, to be honest, on this one. I think for the price point of £100, there's many other systems you could go for. I think one of the things that's charming about this is the 1:1 ratio aspect with the 4-inch nice big screen. It's a nice big screen. I can't deny that. So it's great if you want to play your Game Boy games on here. Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, etc. For your other systems, I don't think it's quite powerful enough, really, for the Sega Saturn. N64 it seemed to play okay. The control system was a pain. So I'm glad I got it. I get pretty much most handhelds, to be honest. But would I recommend this particular one? I can't say I would, to be honest. Normally I recommend every single thing that I buy. But this particular one, it wouldn't be the first one I'd get out of the box to play on, I don't think. I like the operating system. I love the fact that you can have the background music going, because I do like that on my devices, being able to put my own like music on there and things. It's got a nice library of systems it can play, but play well. It's the usuals, really, that you could play on a lower system. minus the Saturn and N64, etc. So no, I can't really recommend this too much, guys. But yeah, that is the Powkiddy RGB30. I hope you liked the video, guys. Thanks for swinging by and sticking along. Hopefully see you in the next video. As always, guys, absolutely love it.